Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a fastest map ever map. Replay sent to me by RJB. It's going to be Toki versus 458. Bottom right-hand corner of the map, we have the blue Protoss player. It is 458 exclamation mark times 3. And in the top left-hand corner, it is the red Zerg player, Toki. Yes. Excellent. Very good here. Going to be some really fun PvZ fastest map stuff. It is going to be a good time here today. Go ahead and subscribe to RJB if you haven't already there on YouTube. He understands the fastest map extremely well. Really great player, too. And I'll put a link to his channel in the description, unless I forget. In which case, somebody please remind me when this thing goes live. It's going to come up like a week after I cast it, so I forget things sometimes. Anyway, we're going to speed it up a tiny bit, just because it's a fastest map. And basically, there's no such thing as a fast pool, necessarily. I mean, that's not true. Sometimes you see it, but it's definitely going to be more of a macro-style opening because you can get away with it. And because your opponent can have 3 gateways up before your Zerglings show up at their base, especially on a huge map like this, where it is hard to find your opponent. Like, we're probe scouting here. No luck so far. Overlord scouting is going to have an even harder time finding the cross-spawn position of the Protoss opponent, rather. So, gateway there, forge there. Worried about potential Zerglings, so having a couple cannons early, it doesn't hurt anything. Doesn't slow you down all that much. Hatch, spawning pool. Probe actually does find the Zerg at about 2.5 minutes. Another hatch on the way. So yeah, definitely no real plans of aggression here from Toki at this stage of the game, at least. Let the Zealot production begin, though, because that is what fastest map is all about in the early stages. Can you handle the Zealot aggression? Can you handle the attempt of your Protoss opponent to wall you in like this? The answer is not really. You don't have enough lings to actually shut this down. Is he just abandoning? Is it 458 is thinking some stuff here. More lings. I like this. I like this response here. And yeah, that's a dead pylon. I don't know. How are these Zealots gonna do? Not super well. Not against this many Zerglings. So forced a ton of lings out here from Toki, which I like. I mean, it means that Toki's way down in overall supply right now because these should have been drones. But staying alive is a big deal if you're a Zerg player, and killing these early Zealots is nice too. Pretty good micro from 458. And yeah, the lings are going to do a bit of a counterattack, but I don't really see it working super well here. I mean, I guess they're assuming this is where the Protoss lives because everybody's going home this way. So probe down. Now there are 4 Zealots out, and now this is not enough lings. Need 4 Zerglings per Zealot to take them down, assuming, I don't know, micro is average, I guess. And at this stage, yeah. The lings are trying to get in for a scout, and you know what? All of them get in. That little run-by cost them 0 Zerglings, which is pretty awesome. Maybe try to take down a gateway as long as you're here. Nope, more and more Zealots coming out here. So, yeah, at this point, Toki is just going for additional hatcheries. Throwing up one here to allow for better walling versus these Zealots. Ooh, lost a Zealot there. A little bit sloppy from 458. Not the best control. Kind of let him wander off on his own. Bit of a pause we didn't have to experience. And the lings are just being annoying at this stage. There's not even speed being researched here. I mean, Toki is just making 10 drones at a time. He's going for a Hydralisk Den. These slow lings are just here to mess with the Protoss brain and just scout what he's doing, which, I don't know. What do you think he's going to do? Well, probably Reaver drops at some point. Probably going to get some DTs here on this fastest map play. Going to go for Storm. Absolutely. These are just not questions, right? Not questions that you should have. Overlord scouts the presence of a million Zealots coming. Let the Sunkens begin, everybody. Do you have enough is the question. He's waiting for that creep to spread so he can toss down additional creeps. Additional creep colonies. So they got a gateway. I mean, that's a pretty good victory for these Zerglings as they got a gateway, ladies and gentlemen. Zealots trying to come up here. There are no Sunkens yet. If the Zealots want to go for this, they kind of do. They're going to try to take down this hatch, which they can do very quickly with their side blaze. Then a Sunken comes up, starts hitting, and a second Sunken comes up and starts hitting. And at what point do you want to get out of here is the question. Yeah, Zergling's buffering a little bit. And the Zealots are trying to get a bit of a run by, but the Lings are body blocking. The drones are even body blocking here, not allowing any Zealots into his house. That's really nice play out of Toki there. That was not easy. If it was me, one of those Zealots would have absolutely have gotten in and caused some havoc. Even wreaked some havoc. This is so many Zealots. They have legs now, as you noticed earlier, for sure. But sunken. Maybe replacing the hats would not be a bad thing. Zerglings are like, oh, hey. Oh, they got the probe. Very nicely done, getting the probe. Hydras, why? No, guys. Okay, well, the Zealots, wow, the Hydras just donated themselves to science there. They didn't kill they didn't kill a single Zealot, because in direct combat, where the Zealots are getting shots off, Hydras are poop. That was amazing. Why would you do that? Toki, I like what you're doing up until that point, but boy, life choices, huh? He's not replacing the hat chair either, which I kind of worry about. I mean, it did die fast, but it bought some time. So going Lurker aspect, is he at least going Lurker aspect? I don't see it, man. It's all just mass Hydra at this stage. The contain is for real. There's a Zergling in here somewhere. Oh, wow. That Zergling just took down the Citadel of Adun. All right. That's exciting. Hey, look, a Zealot died to these Hydralisks. I'm telling you, Hydra's bad against Zealots. You have to kite micro, and it takes 1,000,000 shots to kill them. And if they get right on top of you, your Hydras are going to die. But pretty good control here from Toki. With cannon support, though, then it gets bad. More Hydras joining the party, though. But, I mean, at this point, it's basically forcing the Zerg player to get into Dark Swarm tech to break this. Eventually, sure. If you have enough Hydras, you can break it, absolutely. But if you don't want to lose a ton of Hydras in the process, the Dark Swarm is the place to be. I don't see a Queen's Nest, though. Any sort of thing. We're not going to go there yet, says Toki. Don't worry about it, Falcon. I have a plan. I hope you do. And as always, what you do in fastest map games is you try to go ahead and drop your opponent's economy. Like a storm drop on a really clumped up group of workers is really good. Lurker drops also good. Anything that does splash damage in that situation is great. But it is a Spire out of Toki. And another evolution chamber and a bunch of guys that need to go to work. Come on, Toki. You can do it. Toki. There you go. Getting those guys back to work. Additional extractors being taken here, too. So, yeah, I mean, what the Protoss does really shouldn't be a surprise at all. He's already got a Templar Archives. Probably going to see a robotics facility here sooner. Oh, there we go. 3 of them. And he's just building Reavers right here. Fantastic. Oh, gosh. Reavers in an enclosed position. He built his Queen's Nest right there? That's really exposed. That's exceptionally exposed. Okay. Well, you can go for, I mean, at least start your hive, and then if the Queen's Nest dies, you at least have a hive. Guardians, I guess. I mean, we could do Guardians. Queens would not be dumb, I don't think. I've always liked spawn brooding against High Templar, just because you're removing a single very high-value target from the field for the Protoss. You can't do it against the robotic Reavers here because they're robots. Spawn brooding only works against biological targets. So here come the Reavers. They are ready to reave. Ow. Ow. He's still not making a hive. Ow, ow. Gosh, the Hydralisks, though. Yeah, this is what happens every time I try to go Hydra versus Reavers. Bad things every time. Mutalisks in production. Tell me he's making a hive. No? This Queen's Nest is going to die, and he's not going to be able to make a hive. This is incredible. Toki! Okay, well, no hive for you for a while, which seems like a problem. I mean, he is going for Mutalisks. He's making 12 at a time, which are going to shove off this whole Zealot Reaver thing quite effectively. However, Storm's almost done, and there's a couple High Templar here, so maybe not. Maybe it depends on how the Storms go. Mutas taking down one of the Reavers real easy. Great Storm, though. Golly. It's the thing about Mutalisks. If they hold still for any length of time, they will die to Storm or something. Something will kill them. Promise you that. Oh, look, he's making another Queen's Nest. It's like, what I really need is a hive. I thought I made a Queen's Nest. Oh, well, we'll remake it. Shuttle in production. Feel like the Storm Drop is going to be a problem for Toki because he doesn't have any defense at all. He has no Sunkens, no Lurkers, no Spores defending that source of income that he has. The Mutas... I mean, sure, shutting down whatever's attempted over here seems fine. The Zealot's kind of moving into a million Sunkens. It's okay. It's not like the worst position to be in. The Muta's jumping on top, trying to take down those Reavers before they cause major problems for everybody. And I was going to say the Reavers are dead, but now the Reavers are basic. This one is still alive somehow. He has 0 kills, but he got the Queen's Nest. Look who's already making a hive, though. Toki. All right. He's just making a bajillion Mutalisks, though. Okay, so the Mutas are really doing pretty well for themselves here, I gotta say. Lurker on the high ground. Look at that positioning out of Toki. I need to research drops to make that happen. He doesn't have Overlord speed, but he does have drops. What is... I can't even see that. I'm assuming he just shut down a drop attempt or something up there. Because he still has 74 drones, so he didn't get storm dropped if that's what you're worried about. But yeah, all these Dragoons are dead. For some reason there's drones in here fighting, and that's entirely unnecessary. See, but now the Mutas can come back this way. 3 cannons is not really enough to shut down Mutalisks. If he just... I mean, he can't, though, because the pressure's too real, right? He needs these Mutas for base defense, but if it slowed down a little bit here, if I were him, I'd fly down. I mean, I guess that's why there are pylons here, is to see if the Mutaflock is flying down to murder all of his stuff. Because 458 doesn't really have the defense to handle that right now. It doesn't have any High Templar down here whatsoever defending. Which seems like an obstacle. So this game is absolutely nuts. This is a really good one, RJB. Thanks for sending it in. Yeah, see, the Mutas are coming out, but they're recognizing they're getting spotted easily. So, I don't know. If we kill all these pylons, are we going to supply block the Protoss? Maybe. I imagine he has something like 400 available supply with all these pylons running around. Oh, hang on. Hang on. I see you. Oh, the Scourge. Target fire, target fire, target fire, target fire. Reaver does get down. Reaver doesn't get a shot off. And that was really well shut down by Toki. I mean, he had great vision on it, in fairness, so that helped a lot. He was just happened to be over here anyway. I don't know what 458 was doing coming this direction when there were Mutalisks murdering his pylons, but hey. So far, if your goal in fastest map is to avoid getting dropped too many times and losing your entire economy, then I would say that Toki is right on top of that here. He's doing just fine. Yeah, so the Mutas are having a good time here. The Dragoons are having a good time. The Mutas decide it's time to head on out. So what are we at? 185 to 171 supply. I'm pretty sure that's where we are living. Reaver fronting, still pretty good. These poor lurkers, man. This is looking pretty scary, honestly, for the Protoss player. Or for the Zerg player, rather. I mean, for the Protoss in the respect that he is looking scared. You know what I mean. Anyway, Hiders are trying to do this, but this is a lot of Reavers, and they have that upgrade where they do 25 more damage per hit with the Scarabs. But this is happening. And now there are 5 cannons down here, and I don't think it's enough. Oh, did he get a... Oh, and that happened too. Okay, well, now Toki's down to 20 drones. He got a Storm Drop through. Because the Mutalisks were away... I mean, at least go... Okay, he's making 23 Guardians. 26 Guardians in production, including these ones up here. He's going to try to at least hold the Protoss player at bay with Guardians. And kill him with Guardians. All right, all the Guardians in the entire known world. How are we doing? Okay, I guess. I mean, still losing Guardians because Guardians are fragile and made out of saran wrap. And a handful of Dragoons will absolutely shove you back, despite the fact that you cost about 4 times as much as they do. Because Guardians are kind of a crap unit. Guardians pushing the frontier, where there is Storm available, so maybe don't get stormed into oblivion by this High Templar that doesn't have enough energy for Storm. Alright, that changes everything quite dramatically. I mean, that's giving him time to rebuild his economy. He's building 12 drones at a time. He's putting them back on. He's up to 55 drones now, which is quite a recovery, honestly, considering where he was. He still doesn't have a bank, which makes a ton of sense. That poor Dragoon came all the way around to kill these guys and then instantly died, which is bad. It's just Dragoons, man. Dragoons will trade, and they are pretty well, especially because they have upgrades. Let's point that out. I mean, they do have +2 armor and +1 attack versus the 0 upgrades on the Guardians. Ready for a storm? I'm ready for a storm. There it is. Let's just walk into that storm, Hydralisk group. Great plan. Are these guys alive? Yeah, man, they're high grounding. They're using this high ground and abusing it a bit to take down a couple of these gateways at the very least. More storm happens. Guardian count is down to like 3. The Hydra is providing some nice support, though. What the heck are these shuttles doing here? Dying, apparently. Why would they move up? I don't know. Seems like a bad idea. Guardian's still doing some work down here. All the shuttles in the known universe are coming this way. Ooh, and there's a High Templar in one of them. So the breakout is real here from Toki. He was in a tough situation. He's building lurkers in full view of these buildings, knowing that 458 will see it, which is hilarious. Again, lurkers versus Dragoons are not good unless there's Dark Swarm. And I've not seen Toki be really willing to get Defilers under any capacity here today. But Hydra Dragoon is such a good... Hydra Guardian versus Dragoon is not a bad place to live, honestly. +2 attack on the Hydralisks. Ooh, the Guardians have +1 armor now. All right. Now we're talking. From 155 to 127 supply. So, I mean, Toki's back. He's at 72 drones again. That was a momentary... relapse. Momentary, temporarily, what is it? Temporarily embarrassed millionaires is the term there. Toki was down big time, and now he's actually okay. He's really okay, actually. Kadaran Amulet coming in. Additional energy for the Templar. Pretty much just Dragoons and High Templar are going to be the answer to this. And I mean, I suppose the argument can be made. The Dark Swarm doesn't protect you from Storm at all. And really, Storm is your big enemy here. And I can definitely agree with that. Like, sure, it makes the Dragoons way, way less effective at killing the Lurkers. But then the Storm comes up and it doesn't really matter. I mean, we've seen Hydra Lurker... seen Hydra Lurker versus Dragoon Templar before, and it doesn't go well for the Zerg player. Is he really trying to throw up a hatch right there? He certainly is. I don't know if he's going to accomplish that goal by any stretch. Where do those Guardians go? They're just kind of hanging out over here. There's 4 of them. They're not going to break the world or anything. Wow, just walking through these spines, huh? They really want that hatch dead. Maybe they saved the hatch. Hey, the Lurker saved the hatch. That High Templar did toss a storm up and got killed in the process. That's what you get for throwing up a storm. You die. But more Dragoons coming in because this is fastest map. And the hatchery is dead. I really don't know what the attempt is here from Toki. It's a little bit cheeky, in my opinion. So forces a cancel. It's 193 to 154 supply. We have all the Hydras and all the Lurkers in the known universe coming in. More Guardians. They wiped out the presence of all the pylons in the north here. They've got the left side wiped out too. Kind of feel like Toki is not in a bad position right now. Obviously, all the numbers favor him, but Storm is the great equalizer. As I said once or twice or 1,800 times here on the channel, Storm is, if you're struggling against Zerg as Protoss, get Storm. Research Storm. You're going to have a good time with it. It doesn't look like there's much here from 458, to be honest. These Guardians are going to die without having accomplished much in the last 10 minutes. At least go attack stuff. I don't know. It does take 1,000,000 shots from a Corsair to kill a Guardian, though, which is nice. Because then the Hydras show up and the Corsair is going to die. So, Reaver count a little bit heavy, but again, you're dealing with mostly a Lurker Hydra composition here, so it seems fine. The Guardians are a problem, but if you can storm them down, Corsair them down if they're stacked up especially. Yeah, the tables have turned here for sure. 458 on his back foot. Toki pretty confidently setting up a contain. Which again, doesn't really work on fastest map because your opponent never mines out. So I really maintain that to kill them, you have to kill their economy, and then your contain will do some good things. But yeah, the map is definitely red at this point. There is nothing remaining out here for 458. He doesn't have any vision. He doesn't have any buildings sneaking around. This is red right now. Guardians donated their lives. Maybe for science. I don't know. This is looking scary, though. I don't know how to get rid of the production tab, actually. So we're going to do this. And here comes the drops. Big on 79 drones. And at the end of it, oh, man alive. The Lurkers, though. 73 drones. Okay, he's fine. Wow, that is why you toss down a bajillion Lurkers right on your main source of income. Anything that drops out is going to get instantly vaporized. Holy smokes. That was scary, too. That was like 6 or 7 Reavers, and they all died before they got a shot off, I think. I mean, at least on the drones, which is really all you care about. Sick. Sick play. Oh, storm. Oh, that drop got obliterated. So Toki got dropped once, but it only really gets bad for a Zerg if you get dropped successfully like 4 or 5 times, which so far so good. Look at all these observers too. He really wants to be able to deal with these Lurkers. So we have about 18 storms here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Scourge trying to get shuttles and whatnot, and they do manage to get it. I don't know why you would turn into an Archon there. 5, 6. So that's 6 storms. I feel like I'm on Sesame Street. 6 psionic storms. And then the Reavers say, you none shall pass. You go no further. Look who's actually making queens, though. Toki's making queens, you guys. I mean, Ensnare is a good spell. Wow, that's a lot of dead observers, too. Thankfully, there are like 6 remaining. Ensnare does slow units and reduce their attack speed. I'm really shocked we don't see more Zerg players use it in the professional scene, but it is an upgrade. So, I mean, that makes it behind the wall and hard to access. So, meanwhile, in Zergland, he has 20 hatcheries now, sitting on an 8,000, 2,000 bank. 458 sitting on a 10,000, 1,600 bank with all of his gateways, and still doesn't have that summer home that Protoss players like to have, because they run out of space in their main home pretty fast, even on a fastest map like this. That was about 50 dead hiders right there. I want to say about 50 sounds good. You're really trying this again? Ensnare. I just don't know how you accomplish anything when there are that many lurkers back there. Nice pull, though. Really nice pull there. Yeah, I really don't. Like, you unload a High Templar, he gets murdered before you can press the storm key, right? Am I crazy about that? Could be. This has just been a bloodbath. This area of the map for the past 7 or 8 minutes has just been non-stop death. I love the creep setup in the contain here. We have never seen this. Not on my channel anyway. A Zerg setting up a contain on the Protoss with Sunkens and Spores and all sorts of great stuff. Does that Reaver wander into Sunken territory? I feel like it may have. Oh, that Storm and that Choke, though. Jeez, that Reaver owes that High Templar its life. It really does. Are you trying this again? It's in here. 2 Reavers. Okay. Am I crazy to think this is not going to do anything? Nice ensnare. Oh, hold on. Hold on. 55 drones. He got a hit. And then I think an egg died there. Wait, why is there still stuff? Oh, a secondary drop. Still 50 drones. Didn't accomplish much. Is there anything in this? No and no. And then some Reavers pushing the front. Just because, you know, we were in the neighborhood. We thought we'd try to push. So I don't know. Toki down to 50 drones does not seem like a problem to me. He can replace them easily, making 12 drones at a time here. Ow. I'm telling you. Like, you'll get the Reaver eventually if you're a bunch of Hydralisks, but at the same time, you'll lose about 18 of your closest friends. Bunch more Mutalisks out. These shuttles are freaking me out, man. Get out of there. Don't make me think there's a drop every time I look up that way. Bad. I mean, 458 has made some really hard-fought progress here at this area. Like, really hard-fought. These Guardians are kind of just moving away from the Corsairs instead of actually firing on stuff. Oh, the Nidus. I didn't consider he's been using a Nidus to get here fast. That just shows how observant I am in these games sometimes. You know, at the 30-minute mark, things go a little fuzzy. But, yeah, man, he's got Nidus to reinforce instantly here at the front. Toki! Toki, you absolute madman. I like it. Is that another one? Am I hallucinating drops now? This has just been the most non-stop, absolute death I have seen, really. Maybe not the most, but holy smokes. This is going to come down to both players have killed around 1,000, 2,000 units would be my guess. This is one of those matches. Look at the Hydra's buying time for the drones to turn into more Sunkens. Oh, hang on. Storm, though. Yeah, he's building up this way. He's building down this way. Trying to make it hard. That's a big-time Reaver shot. Got one drone. Trying to make it hard for the Protoss player to sneak out, right? To sneak anything out is what he's doing. You got the Overlord spotting, which the Corsairs are having a pretty good time with. Hey, look, it's more Guardians. You said you wanted Guardians, so we got more Guardians for you today. We're going to mass Reaver our way out of this. Don't you worry, Protoss. Yeah, right now, it feels like the Zerg player is in control, but it's very tenuous. All these Reavers showed up. The Guardians got stormed the instant they finished hatching out of those cocoons. I assume there are more storms available, but perhaps I'm wrong about that, and maybe the Guardians will do better than I thought. Why are there... I guess random Scourge just keep flying in, going after shuttles, and observers would be my guess. Corsairs are just... Oh, I see you. Just trying to find stuff to kill. You know how it is. Pow, 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 pow. Reaver dropped. And dead. And the Corsair dies too. Secondary drop. Don't see it. But the instant reinforcements. The genius 4,000 IQ display here of Toki. Getting reinforcements to the front instantly. Defender's advantage. What advantage, Toki says. My units can be at the front instantly too. I mean, virtually instantly anyway. He's finally bringing his shuttles home, which is hilarious. They've been sitting there for like 5 minutes at least. New shuttles coming over. Overlord sees them, though. Yeah, here's the trick, right? Protoss player contained, sure, not too bad. But if he gets off... Well, that did not work at all. If he gets off a couple good drops, wipes out the economy of the Zerg player 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times, then he's going to be able to break out of here more easily. There's going to be fewer resources available to just sunken up his front door as much as he has. They're 3-3-1 on the upgrades there on the Dragoons, sitting on 3 armor and +1 attack for the flying units. And the Hydras are happily at 3-2 with the +3 armor upgrade coming next. Yeah, Sunkens are pretty good because they can't hit air. They hit harder than cannons do. That's the trade-off. Trying to dodge storms as best you can with Guardians. It's not always a fun time, but it's something you gotta do from time to time. Guardians not really helping with the base defense, guys. Come on. Wipe out these Reavers. You got this. Hey! I mean, I guess he's worried about getting his Hydras into position to get stormed into oblivion. Oh, gosh. Oh, gosh. The High Templar. Okay. I was going to say maybe one of them escaped, but nope. That's a lot of dead High Templar there suddenly. That was a lot of resources invested into those spellcasters, and they are gone now. The Guardians coming in to sit on this high ground and try to murder some stuff, but the Observers spotting the high ground. The shuttle doing it too. The Guardians pulling back. Perhaps getting a little more circumspect in his old age here is Toki. Harr, harr. That's the Lurker death sound. It's hard to reproduce. I don't know how they did that back in '98. Yeah, and again, Guardians just evaporate under any kind of pressure at all. But there's more of them. There's more where those came from. Styles actually down, or Toki's down to 300 gas. He can't just morph in a million more Guardians out of nowhere like he's been doing all game. Not anymore. Mutas are trying to... What are we trying to do here? Is he just kamikazeing for the mineral line? Well, there were Corsairs, so we decided to head on back. We're taking some serious hits. I mean, I guess killing an observer is not a bad idea either. Engaging directly with the Corsairs, eh? It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see how it pays off for him. Another drop attempt. Oh, but the Scourge. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 remaining, and dead. Yeah, I mean, there's enough Scourge to really, really cause problems for any drop attempts from 458. Additionally, he still has the Hagilian Lurkers back here. I mean, stop me if you've heard this one, but Hydra is being held at bay by Storm. Dude, kill that High Templar. Do not let him come back and get revenge. Okay. Well, he's behind the lines now, and he'll probably be used to kill more of your brothers and sisters. It's effectively both players are maxed out. Nobody really has much of a gas bank. It's down to 600 for 458 right now. I mean, that is... You're not running out of gas. It's really just a matter of you can't get as much gas income as you can mineral income based on how this is set up. Which makes sense. That's how regular StarCraft is too. You can't get gas as fast as you can get minerals generally. Well, there are 3/3 Hydras now. Trading pretty fantastically. More Guardians, more Mutalisks. I'm trying to figure out if anybody has any kind of a finishing blow here. So there was a discussion about the phrase coup de grace on the channel the other day. So coup is removal, right? Because a coup is the removal of the existing government, and then grace is head. So coup de grace is literally the beheading. Which, as far as English is concerned, I've kind of been using it in a killing blow, final blow kind of a thing. A coup de grace is the final blow that helps you win a game, right? That means you win a game, potentially. I don't know. I'm not sure if Toki is droppable at this point. He's got pretty good defense. He's got the ensnare available. He's got enough Hydras to defend if necessary if a drop comes in. I mean, sure, 458 is finally, after about 15 minutes of continuous fighting, pretty much broken this. He's got to kill the Nidus to really break it, though, and there's another Nidus available here. Archon's trying to get right on top of those Guardians. Nope, say the Hydralisk. Yes, says the High Templar. And a bunch of High Templar going down. All right, 458 is down to 159 supply, but making 15 Dragoons at a time right now. You know what would be really, really good is Dark Swarm. I know there was a time, maybe it wasn't the most efficient thing, but by golly, Dark Swarm would make these Hydras have a much better day. Sure, again, the Storm would murder them, but there would be fewer of them murdered if there was Dark Swarm. I mean, this is, I would say this is effectively a Zerg player trying to win without spellcasters at all, but at least he's been tossing out Ensnare. So that counts for something. How many Corsairs have died in this game? I don't know. This game is bananas. Burners, guys. Hey, look, a High Templar coming home. Don't know where you were. Don't know where you were trying to go other than rejoining your friends, but you're dead now. 458 says, let's try this again. I don't know how it's going to work, but you can't give up. You can't just give up against a Zerg player like this. Ensnare, Scourge, Scourge, Hydralisk, Hydralisk. And nothing actually got out. Nothing unloaded from that shuttle. 0% things. Is this the one? Is this the drop? That empty shuttle. Okay, alright, alright, alright. Woof! Toki has done the best defense against drops in the fastest map I may have ever seen. This is nuts. Oh, storming the Nidus as all the hiders are coming out. Genius play there from 458. Okay, so the Nidus are gone, which means the hiders have to walk from here all the way to here now. Which you might say is not a huge deal, but what if it is? Toki's down to 100 gas, you guys. 100. And I mean, that could just mean he's spending his money well, but he doesn't have a bank to draw from. This is not an easy remax from losing your whole army here like he kind of is right now with these Guardians. He's trying to kite with them, but they're so slow and so stodgy. My gosh, Guardians, why are you so bad? I feel like you could be made better, but we're never getting a balance patch in StarCraft ever. 458 pushing with a small number of Dragoons. He's got reinforcing units coming here too. There's more Guardians trying to murder him. I mean, Toki's making 32 hiders at a time, so maybe I'm just overblowing this whole he doesn't have a bank thing, because his income is really just through the roof. Ensnare and a million hiders with 3-3. I mean, are these... I would not be surprised if these were just empty at this point. Like, is 458 really going to throw away Reavers and High Templar? He is, man. He really is. Huh. Never mind then. Toki with the pushback. 458, don't forget about Storm. I know this is a long game. I know you're probably exhausted right now. I'm tired after casting it. Can't imagine trying to play a game this long and this intense for 43 minutes. Okay, he's got High Templar. He's ready to go. I mean, do we have enough for a Storm? We do now. 76 energy, man. That's all it takes is 75. High Templar says I must float up here and storm everything. Oh, he gets the Guardians too. Look at that. Look at that storm. High Templar unloading early and then storming some of the drones, getting gas on this one Vespine Geyser. Yeah, Toki's okay with that, guys. He's fine. He's still at 83 drones. Don't worry about him at all. What's up, Reavers? Doing 125 damage per shot, eh? Ooh, hang on. Ah, I thought maybe that one had a chance. I really did for a second there. How many hiders does it take to take down 5 Reavers with a full complement of Scarabs with Hydralisks? How many hydras is it? Like 40? Probably like 40, right? Maybe more. They're clumped up versus if they're spread out. Your micro matters a lot. I really do feel like just a big Mutalisk attack coming in here, taking out both of these Nexuses would be a major victory. But I don't know. He is making a bajillion Mutalisks, so maybe that's what he's going to do. Oh, hold on. Maybe I'm a prophet. Maybe I accidentally predicted what's going to happen here. Because again, usually you have some High Templar sitting back to defend against that kind of thing, but 458 hasn't really ever had that, as near as I can tell. So he's going to sunken up a whole ton, send his Mutalisks down with 3-3 on them. Going to stack them up, and we've seen this before. We've seen this against Terran in particular. It doesn't work. You can't infest them, obviously, like you can with the command center, but I think he's going to do it. I think he's going to do it, you guys. You ready for this? I'm ready for this. Here we go. And all the Nexuses are dead. I don't know what else to tell you other than everything is dead here. I'm actually surprised any Mutalisks are dying here whatsoever. The probe count for 458 is somehow still 70. So that's starting to fall as you can hear the probe death sound. .458 isn't even like running. He's down to 10 probes, you guys. That was not insta-kill, but that was pretty close. His income is now 4 probes. His army's pushing a little bit, but I think Toki's done it, y'all. I think Toki's done it. Toki, after drop after drop after drop, failed and failed and failed and failed and succeeded once and failed again. Like the second time Toki showed up to murder 458's economy, it worked perfectly. Just has enough Sunkens here to where the Reaver count's not high enough. The High Templar are useless versus Sunkens. I mean, they're good against the Guardians, though, don't get me wrong. But yeah, 458's down to no money. He doesn't have any income at all. He doesn't have a second base to fall back to. 458 is not getting through this, you guys. Hold on, actually. Did I call it too soon? Is one of his drops going to succeed? Reaver drops in, gets it, dies, but... no, it explodes harmlessly. Hate it when that happens with Reavers. That one doesn't get a shot off either. One last desperation hit from 458. The Mutas are basically base racing now, which is... I don't know. Oh, and the Lings. The 3-3 Adrenal Lings finally making a bunch of Zerglings against the Dragoons. And that's your good game. 458 left the game. And Toki is your winner in 48 minutes and 43 seconds. Kudyaba. Yeah. What a match. That was nuts. That was early, too. That was like Zealot pressure into a contained by the Protoss, into a pushback, and a contained by the Zerg that lasted forever. And then another attack coming in from 458 where he wipes out a ton of the static defense this way, but Toki's ready for it. He goes 3-3 Mutalisk style, wipes out 458's economy, and calls it a day. Predictions, honestly, though, I think at least 1,000. Do I want to predict 2,000 units lost per team here, per player? That seems like a large number, but so much stuff died in this game. We'll take a look. We'll look at it in here in a second, but by golly, what a match. Thanks for sending that in, RJB. Again, please check out his channel, link in the description. Throw him a sub. It doesn't cost you anything. Wow. I mean, the drop defense alone for Toki was ridiculous. 100. Hold on. Are we in the millions? 1,223,835 points for Toki here. Have I ever seen a game with 1,000,000 points? I don't feel like I have. All right, so units killed here is 1,000 for each. Both have lost at least 1,000. The Zerg player lost 1,500, so that's close. It's kind of 2,000, isn't it? Structures raised. So many Zerg buildings died. So many Protoss buildings died here too. And then resources pretty even across the board. 253 spent for 458. 263 spent for Toki. But at the end of the day, it was the successful defense against those drops. It was the Mutalisk attack that did a ton of damage. And that's it, man. That is all she wrote. Toki gets the win. What a match. Absolutely insane. Might get an epic tag just for being absolutely nonstop. Let me know what you guys think. Put that in the comments if you think this is an epic tag or not. An epic game or not. We will discuss. But yeah, for that's going to be it from me. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a fastest map ever match. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.